Hi, legends. During the weekend, we had this boring price action, just going sideways, small little moves to the up and to the downside. And then Monday came and we have a dump. Okay, well, I won't really call it a dump. Small little retracement here to the downside. Today, we'll analyze what are the probabilities for us to still go higher, or is the probabilities higher to still go down a little bit further? We'll go and analyze those high probable scenarios and also share with you um, that that key bouncing areas that I'm potentially watching if we do get more momentum here to the downside. Right, legends, I also want to highlight, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Monday, fresh start to the week. I also want to just quickly share my screen over here and just show you guys, I do read through all the comments that you guys sent me on all of my videos. And I must say, I had quite a little bit of a chuckle when I read Irina's comment over here. I'm sure she'll join in a minute. Devil, thank you so much. Your video updates is like dessert. Let's see how the market reacts to Powell's speech today. And then Fast reacted by saying, she said it beautifully, the update is the dessert, and then the live stream is the main course. Right. I do appreciate all the comments that you guys make. I also read through all these comments, and by all means, I see Sin Games. I'm not sure if you're going to join. Hi, Arena. I was just talking about your comment over here. If you guys do share some technical analysis inside of the comments, it's usually, because I'm a picture person, that's just the way that my brain is put together. I'm a picture person. If you do want to share your chart, okay, and you would like for me to maybe take you through a different scenario or discuss your scenario that you are looking at during my live stream, leave your comment here, but go and join our Legends Discord community, the free section, okay? You click on the first link down in the description, like I've just done, and go and join our free Discord Legends community. And then inside of the free chat, okay, or the Bitcoin section, you can go and post your chart there and say, hey, David, can we talk about this during the next live stream? By all means, I will have a look at it, okay? It's often difficult to go through comments to try and analyze exactly what the person is talking about. I'm a picture person. Draw me a picture and I'll tell you, okay, this is what I think. This is the probabilities. Did you take this into consideration? Or thanks for highlighting this. I'm also here to learn and to see levels of confluences that I'm potentially missing. Right, so first link down in the description to go and join our Legends trading community. We have the pro section where I do daily live analysis. Okay, let me see if I can quickly share that screen over here. Let me do this. Okay. Also remember the Bluffin cashback until the 8th of October by also under exchanges. The first link, simply by depositing money into the account, you get that 10% cashback that you can trade with. Okay. And then Bybit. Ooh, Legends Bybit. The World Series of Trading is starting tomorrow. As soon as we have the link to register for the competition, I will drop it in here. And also by using this link down in the description to sign up, you qualify for that $500 USDT airdrop in any of these altcoins that you potentially like to trade over here. Okay, so make sure you go downstairs, you sign up with one of these links to qualify for the biggest bonuses and sign up and for also to go and register for that competition. Okay, right, what I wanted to quickly do over here is do this. Let me just drag the screen across. And here you guys can see, okay, inside, obviously I have a lot more options going on here because, I'm an admin here in the site. So, but you'll see under the Legends basic version, okay, there's a chat section where you guys can drop all of your comments, share your P&Ls, have a conversation. And we also have a Bitcoin section. So if there's something specific to Bitcoin that you'd like to ask, go and drop a chart in here and then I will get to it during the next live stream. And then obviously for all the Legends pros, you've got the Legends chat. You've got a section where Andy provides daily technical analysis. You can see, Andy provided three pieces of technical analysis today, including myself guiding the Legends, showing everyone what I'm looking for, video updates. And I must just share with you guys, I've belonged to many Discord communities, okay, when I started out. And I can tell you guys now, it's very seldom or almost never that I found a Discord community where the person actually presenting the YouTube channel does video updates explaining the situation, providing education, why they're looking for the level. So I think this is really, great value for money in terms of trading setups, because it comes with so much education around it as well. So the idea here is that you'll join until you are educated, I suppose, for lack of a better word, and then you'll go somewhere else, okay? Or you won't need a Discord community anymore because you'll be able to trade by yourself. Okay, cool, legends. Let's dive into the technical analysis. I just want to open up some pages over here, see if I can see everyone. Let's go. Okay, 𝗬𝗏𝗽𝗏, welcome to the live stream. Like Smash, thank you so much. Irina, 𝗬𝗍𝗽𝗍, thanks 𝗬𝗍𝗆 fast. Hello 𝗬𝗍𝗆, we all ready for the main course. Let's go. Alexander 79, hi everyone. I have launched an online translator and I'm ready to learn. Ooh, perfect. That's so cool. Mr. Goldstar Crypto, hey, finally caught to live. Like Smashed, hi 𝗬𝗍𝗆. Maxion, hi 𝗬𝗍𝗆, welcome to the live stream. Right, how's your cell phone account, 𝗬𝗍𝗆? What's usually the best leverage to increase you a little with little capital? It's not about the leverage, okay? I keep on saying it. It's not about the leverage. It's about the account size with good risk management. And yes, it's still steaming ahead. I thought I was going to be a little bit more aggressive with that account, but I'm not being as aggressive. I think because risk management is so drilled into my DNA, I really struggle to just go 100x with my entire account, because even though I know sometimes, it's a high probable trading setup, I really struggle to just go too aggressive with that account. But I mean, it's still going up, so I'm very happy. It's just not going as fast as I thought, but it's still up, and I think that's what's important. Cool, legends, let's dive into the technical analysis. Smash up the like, let's get the party on the road. Okay. Before we dive into this structure over here, okay, I quickly just want to do a quick recap of the larger time frame to say that, well, if we are going to get a bigger dump here to the downside, what are the probabilities of making a higher low for continuation to the upside? Or are we potentially going to go down to $42,000? Because I can already see that if we do get continuation here to the downside, I'm going to see all the comments and social media saying that we're going back to $40,000. We're going to go claim that liquidity that we've never claimed. So let's quickly focus on the larger time frame and just see where we are. Okay, so first thing up is let's go to the daily time frame, clean up the chart over here. Okay, just switch into this little structure. Okay, I must be honest with you guys, from an Elliott wave perspective, okay, the probabilities of moving down lower is losing probability, okay, and it's becoming a little bit difficult because of all the mistakes inside of those structures, where the bullish case scenarios actually now still carries higher probability that this, okay, and it's not because I say so, I'm just saying from a technical perspective and from an Elliott wave perspective, the low is potentially in. There's a higher probability that this low will be protected. The low is in. And also, usually when you end a structure with such an amount of selling pressure, it usually signifies the end of something and the start of something new. Okay, and so far, okay, the market is giving us the confidence that we need to see. So purely just looking at price action over here, I can see that I have this, just purely looking at this structure over here, is that we have consistently made lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And then all of the sardines, okay, we made a higher low. Okay, we still made a lower low over here, but then we made a higher low. Okay, and if you're a technical trader that looks for proof of support, this is one of the biggest proof of supports that you potentially will be looking at from a higher time frame perspective. Okay, is now you formed a higher low. We have officially made a higher high, and now what you would like to see for the retracement down here is to yet again make a higher low, right? And then you continue the momentum to go and make a higher high. So this is what you would want to see, okay, for the market to show you signs of strength that it is turning around. So if we do take a little dumpy action here to the downside, it is nothing to be concerned about just as yet, okay? I don't want people to say we're going down to $40,000 if we are trading here at $59,000. Okay, it's not time yet. There's still a lot that needs to happen before we can say that we're going to come and claim this low once again. For now, the market structure looks bullish. Okay, technically we have to go according to what the technicals are telling us. We have a higher high. Sorry, we have a higher low, a higher high, and potentially we are now forming the higher low once again. So in saying this, let me just take the scribble here out the way. I want to just show you guys that some of the Elliott wave scenarios that I have been watching, and I'm sure you're all curious about how some of them have played out and whether they are still intact. So the first one I want to speak about is just want to make sure that one is still intact. That's the most bullish case scenario, is this one over here. Okay, cool. I know it looks like a mess. Okay, I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to explain it step by step. So remember what I've shared with everyone is that in a WXY structure, okay, let me do this. If you have a WXY structure, WXY, okay, a little bit of education. You guys wanted the main course? Yes, the education. Inside of W, you have a ABC. Inside of X, you have an ABC. And inside of Y, this is where things become a little bit tricky. You can have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which ends the Y, or you can have another ABC to end the Y, or you can have the triangle A, B, C, D, E, and then you shoot to the upside. Okay, now looking at the structure below, the ABCDE, okay, so looking at this WXY, W, X, and we were potentially waiting for a B, C, D, E. And there's a couple of rules. D is not allowed to take B point, which it did. So this structure is now invalidated. Okay, hope that makes sense. So that leaves us with, well, maybe Y is in, because this wave to the downside can be counted as a 5-wave structure. So perhaps it is as simple as, okay, sometimes we're trying to overcomplicate the structures, is that ABC, okay, in W, ABC in X, and a 5-wave structure in Y. Done. Okay, perhaps it's done. So now when I take the scribble out the way, I can now go into the structure and maybe go and delete, okay, the ABCDE. So let's delete that, because this has now been invalidated, and which is not bad news. Please remember, legends, this is not bad news, okay? The only difference is, okay, if we had an ABCDE inside of the structure, it means that Y would have ended over here. Okay, but now Y could have ended here, which is the end of the corrective structure. Over here, it's the end. And this is the start of something new, okay? The only other bullish scenario, I have 2 more bullish scenarios, but the one that carries the highest probability at the moment is when I take this out the way. Assuming that the low is in, okay? I'm still looking at this leading diagonal, okay, which is as follow. Right, I just want to take the parallel channel out because that usually creates some confusion. Okay, so this is the structure that I'm now looking at. So I want to go here onto the 12-hour time frame and say, well, if we do get a dump here to the downside, okay, this structure is still intact. Okay, I really like this structure because of all the 3-wave moves inside of it. Okay, and you guys know that I've often spoken about 3-wave structures, 5-wave structures, but in a contracting leading diagonal, okay, you can have a multitude of three-wave structures building up this impulse for an explosion to the upside. For now, this structure still carries probabilities, and ideally what you would like to see from the structure is if the structure starts with a three-wave structure, all of the structures inside has to be three-wave structures. And so far it's not disappointing. Okay, so I can see a 1, 2, 3 in 1. I can see a 1, 2, 3 in 2. I can also now see a 1, 2, 3 in 3. And there's my invalidation. We did not hit the invalidation, which means the structure is still intact. So what if, okay, what if this is the local high for now, here at $66,200 that we've made, and we are simply going to make a three-wave corrective structure back down to start forming this triangle over here. Okay. Sorry, legends. Let me just close something over here. I have some messages popping up that's quite distracting. Okay. And then again, so I really like to talk about leading diagonals once the fourth wave is in. But because we are now getting a little bit of a dumpy action here to the downside, I just want us to be prepared that we could get a deeper three-wave structure back to the downside, okay? And then again, another three-wave structure back to the upside to complete wave 5. And then this is where things are going to go really scary for a lot of traders, is that the bull run is back. We've claimed $70,000. Okay, I estimate that we're going to hit that $70,000 over there with this wave 5. We're going to $100,000, and then what happens is a massive three-wave structure to the downside to form a ABC correction, ABC, where you're not allowed to take the low, the rules of the structure, okay, which is going to scare the crap out of everyone. Okay, you can just imagine how many longs are going to enter once we start breaking to the $70,000 area. Can you imagine? And then we have this big dump here to the downside, a simple ABC three-wave corrective structure, and what I would like to see is massive bullish CVD building up against these pivots as price finds its way here to the downside. And then once we stop over here, it's game on, where you could see a massive explosion here to the upside, where this becomes 1, 2, 3 here to the upside. Okay. But yes, there's still a lot that needs to happen inside of this structure, okay? But so far, it's intact. So far, I like it because of all the three-wave structures, and so far, there's nothing wrong with it at the moment. So definitely from a bullish case scenario, it's a very interesting structure to keep an eye on, okay? So if we are in the camp of three-wave structures where you can just see three-wave structure, another three-wave structure, what could potentially happen with us losing the momentum here, this little trend line that we're losing over here, okay? Let me zoom into the 4-hour time frame. That's why I'm saying we need to stay level-headed as traders, okay? It's about areas of confluence and watching the price reaction as we eat each area. So there's definitely a possibility that the high could be in over here. Could. Okay, because the market is here to surprise us. But what if it's a simple 1, 2, 3 here to the downside? We find support and then we build impulses back to the upside. Okay, so yes, we can have a dump. We're most likely going to have a dump here to the downside. I would like for us to hit these lows, okay, for a nice little bouncing area, because the reason I like these lows over here, okay, obviously there's nice support, consolidation areas provide great support, and also if we do find momentum here to the downside, you want to see us also make that lower high, okay, a nice three-wave structure here to the downside to complete the fourth wave, and then it's back on for the fifth wave. But I mean, we can trade all of these scenarios. I don't care if Bitcoin is going to $100,000. I can make money with this move, more money with this move, money with this move. I can just trade all the levels, okay? Right. Thank you. Legends, we are going to the moon. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. I would say this is most probably the most conservative bullish structure that I have. There is another bullish structure, which I don't want to talk about right now. I first want to see how the corrective structure plays out, because there is another bullish scenario that's way more bullish than the scenario that I'm highlighting over here. But I just want to stay conservative and level-headed. Okay, so now we can start, from a technical perspective, we can now start looking at the structure and say that, okay, normal technical analysis, when I take a FIB from the low to the high, let's say we are getting a deeper correction here to the downside, switch on my FIBs. Oof, okay, this is where the planet starts aligning. You have a 50% FIB level that lines up with these pivot lows. Remember, these lows, these little pivots, they offer great support when price finds momentum in that direction. So if price had to come down here, okay, yes, 382, I do think that we will get a reaction. Perhaps this structure will look something like this. We first go and bounce here on the 382. We go back up for a higher low, and then we fall back down. We don't know how the structure is going to play out, but you want to see a three-wave structure. But what I do like for the end of the structure is here by the 50% FIB level and the 0.618 is where I see a massive support here for us at the moment. And it also has confluence that when you start switching on some daily levels, weekly levels, let me go see where are all of those daily levels, weekly levels, and also my today analysis. Right. Okay. Now I know it looks a little bit messy. Just want to clean it up a little bit over here. Okay. This is where things become really interesting. Okay. At the 50% FIB level, okay, we have a massive liquidity pool over here. Right? But we also have nice support and resistances. You can see a beautiful support box over here by the 50% FIB level. So what I did is I first went and drew in my support boxes, and then I pulled my FIB and I was like, ooh, it actually has nice confluence. 0.618 also has a beautiful support box over here, and it also has that value area low of March. Ideally, I don't want to see us lose this level again. It's fine if price comes back down, it dips in and it gets immediate, it gets that buying pressure that kicks in that takes price out of that zone. So the closest, highest probable level that I see over here is the 50% FIB retracement. But definitely a possibility to also get a small three-wave structure here to the 382, and then bam, off to the races we go again. We just need to pay attention. Okay, cool. Legends. So I would say $59,500 is the strongest support level that I see over here that is still inside of the range. Okay, inside of this range over here. Because for the bulls, you don't want to lose the range. You don't want to see high time frame candle closes below the value area low of March, which is basically the entire consolidation that we've been in since March. You do not want to see us lose this level at $58,500, give or take. Okay. Right. I just want to clean it up a little bit. It looks very messy. Okay. Let's clean up the kitchen over here. Cool. The other thing that I have seen, okay, and you can go and back test it, is that when you have a FIB, a nice impulsive structure here to the upside, and you draw your FIB from the low to the high, I have seen, usually in most instances, I would say 8 out of 9 times or 8 out of 10 times, when you hit a major FIB level like the 382 for the first time, when you get a retracement to the downside, you usually get a nice reaction in this zone. So I will definitely be looking for longs in this zone over here. Okay, and I will determine together with the legends in the pro community where exactly are we going to take profits, because it's never guaranteed that price is just going to do this. We might take profits over there. We'll just have to see when price action gets there, what's the highest probable area to take profits, where to put our stop losses, and so forth. But I do expect a reaction in this zone, because 8 out of 10 times when you have an impulse to the upside and you retrace to a major FIB level for the first time, you usually get a nice reaction, a nice bounce to the upside. Okay. But this could be that 1, 2, 3 back to the downside, okay? And then bounce here by the 50% or the 0.618. Right, legends. That's basically what I wanted to take you guys through on the higher time frame. Okay, now that we've discussed the 4-hour time frame, I've taken you guys through the leading diagonal that I'm potentially watching. Let's switch off and clean up the chart over here, take the fibs out the way, and now let's go and analyze this structure over here. Okay, that's now the juicy part. Everyone wants answers on, Devil, what is going to happen over here? What are the highest probable scenarios over here? Okay, before I continue, let me go through some comments. Levi. Goes Levi. Okay. Cutest girls. Come on, man. Why are you saying come on, man? Mr. Cutest girls, keep us afloat. 57K, no way. My ETH will get destroyed. Right, it's all a game of probabilities, okay? If we are going to continue the momentum here to the downside, we could definitely complete a three-wave structure, okay? I just want to stress, I do have a scenario where we maybe come down a little bit further. We go and grab all this beautiful liquidity, okay? You go grab it, and then you do this, right? The market is here to surprise us. And it's not to say because I've just shown you that this is definitely going to play out. Okay, remember that the market is here to surprise us. It's all just a game of probabilities, and that's why I want to go and analyze this structure over here to see that, well, are we building impulses to the downside, or is this just a healthy small little correction for continuation back to the upside? Okay, so let's go on to the 15-minute time frame. Mariela, welcome to the live stream. What's up, legends? Let's smash the like button for 𝗬𝗍𝗆 and this educational live stream. Mariela, I think I will have a conversation with you in Discord. I don't think I'll have a conversation. I think you did send me a DM. I will have a conversation with you in Discord. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining. Okay, that answers my question. Thank you, 𝗬𝗍𝗆. Perfect, Mr. Ghost Levi. So major level always has a reaction. Yes, a major level always has a reaction. Okay. So, but what I mean by a major level is that when you have a fib, okay, and price is just pumping here to the upside, pumping here, it makes the high, okay, where you now draw the top of your fib. Usually 8 out of 10 times, when you retrace, I don't really like the 0.236 from a fib retracement perspective. What I mean by major fib levels is the 382 to the 786. This is what I regard as the major fib levels. And usually when price comes down, you usually 8 out of 10 times get a reaction, whether you make a lower high, okay, and continue momentum to the downside, or whether you shoot up, okay, you usually get a reaction 8 out of 10 times. And the reason I'm saying 8 out of 10 times, there will be those 2 times where price slices through and it bounces on the 50% fib level. But you would expect a reaction, okay, at these fib levels at least. Okay, especially when it hits a major fib level for the first time, you usually get a reaction. So in saying that, what I do like about the structure is, just quickly jumping back onto the 4-hour time frame, is that when you take a fib from the low to the high, okay, this 382 level, what I really like about the 382 level over here is that there is a massive amount of liquidity built up here below these lows. So it would be nice for price to go and grab that liquidity. You will see a reaction, because usually when you grab a massive amount of liquidity, you get a reaction. So looking at the liquidity heat map over here, you can see there by a $62,500, $62,000 level, you know, below these lows that I've just highlighted, we have a massive amount of liquidity. Okay, so usually, even if you don't have the fib level, when you dip into liquidity, you usually get a reaction, and it's either going to take the high, or it makes that lower high for continuation to the downside. And this could potentially be that three-wave structure. Okay, stay inside of the range, and then we continue momentum to the upside in another three-wave structure, like we've had here, three-wave structure. We can have a three-wave structure, and so the three-wave structures just continues all over the show. Okay, let's go back here onto the 15-minute time frame. Right, so legends, looking at, let's go to 30-minute. Just want to put it into perspective over here. So the one scenario that I am keeping an eye on over here, legends, is this is now the question, okay? Are we making a simple ABC corrective structure? Is this a simple ABC corrective structure? And there's now the potential that we could make a higher low over here and continue momentum back to the upside. You get acceptance back in the trend and you go and claim the high. Just want to highlight that this is a possibility. At the moment, it does carry a slight lower probability because of how extended this wave is. Okay, so for an ABC to the downside, I can go measure the target of a C wave. And when I take a fib extension from the high to the low to the high over here, the maximum target for a C wave to the downside, an ABC, is the 1.618. And that is already considered an extended C wave target. And you can see that we have tapped the 2.618 over here. Okay, it's not invalidated. I have seen C wave targets, okay, hit the 2.618, but it does not happen often. Okay, more often you get the 1.618 hit, and most often it is the 1-to-1 in the 1236 over here. Okay, so the fact that this C wave is so overextended slightly decreases the probabilities that this is a finished ABC and we are just going to go back here to the upside, but not invalidated. It just gives it a slight lower probability because of how extended this C wave is. Okay, so some of the tips that I will be looking at, or the tricks of the trade that I will be looking at over here, is to say that, okay, well, the probabilities are now higher that this is an impulse to the downside. So basically a 1, 2, 3, because it went so far to the 2.618, and we could be forming a fourth wave and still go down lower. So we are basically forming an impulse, not a three-way structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then you continue the momentum to the downside. So at the moment, this 5-wave structure that I have over here does carry slightly higher probability because of how extended the C wave is, but not invalidated. So what I'm looking at over here is when I take a normal fib from the high to this low that the recent low that we've made over here, okay, and I just drag it across. I want to take this one out the way so it's nice and clean. Okay, so there's a couple of rules that needs to be followed. If this is indeed an impulse here to the downside and not an ABC, what you would like to see for the fourth wave is a maximum target of the 0.5. Okay, that is a maximum target for an impulse to the downside. So whatever happens over here, and I will discuss this in a moment because there could be an ABC flat where we're going to see something like this. Okay, I will get to that scenario in a moment. Is that for an impulse to the downside, for us to still come and claim this low, okay, and go down lower to round about, let's say, $61,000 or $62,000, let's call it $62,000. If price still ranges inside of here, you take the low, you come back up, the 0.382 and the 50% fib level are very common fourth wave targets. If price is going to find the strength, okay, maybe it makes a lower high over here, it starts pumping here to the upside and it taps the 0.618 level, you increase the probabilities of coming to take the high. Okay, then this could definitely be an A, B, C, and you tap the 0.618, you get acceptance back inside the trend, which means that, okay, it's game on for a more bullish scenario that we didn't anticipate, and momentum starts continuing here to the upside. So this is my clue over here. Okay, so in essence, if you read between the lines, I am looking for shorts in this zone. Okay, SFP from the local highs over here, and also the 382 level, which I'll definitely consider. Some local berry CVD building up. Let's see how this plays out. Another scenario that I'm also keeping an eye on is I need to zoom in a little bit for that one, is on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, now you can see this is where I go really crazy, is to see that, well, can I count 5 wave structures, because a C wave, if this is a C wave or a 3, this structure has to have 5 waves to the downside. It has to. Okay, that's a rule. I can count 5 waves to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if the 5 is completed inside of these two structures, you can now have an ABC corrective structure. And ABC corrective structures can be very complex because you can get a flat. Okay, you can get an A, B that claims the low, C to the upside that goes to the 50%, right? And then, so one of the trading scenarios that I will be watching is a reclaim of this low. If price falls down here and it gets acceptance back above, I will be looking for a long in this zone. Okay, because I want to trade this wave. If this is an A, B, C here to the upside, that's now correcting the structure, and I will be looking for shorts in this zone because we have that diagonal trend over here that's going to act as resistance. We have the 50% FIB level, and we have these pivot highs over here that I will potentially be looking for shorts. But there's also the possibility that price taps that 0.618 level. Okay, and then it's potentially game on for higher levels. So that is basically my trading plan. Okay, it's all about just having a plan, observing the price reaction as price hits those areas of confluence, and then with good risk management, you can enter those trades. Okay, so it's not about getting the analysis right every single time. I just want to stress that. It's not about having my analysis right. It's about having a plan. For me, it's about having a plan. The highest probable longing area that I see is claiming the low over here. Okay, if price had to do this and it gets acceptance back above, I want to be there to long this potential zone over there. If price finds momentum here to the upside, it starts building some bearish CVD as it crawls its way here to the upside. Okay, I'm going to look for shorts in this zone over here. Okay, if price taps the 0.618, I will not be looking for shorts anymore. Okay, I would rather say, well, if there's a, okay, it's not to say that you hit the 0.618 over here, you're just going to do this. You could still have a retracement. Okay, but then you increase the probabilities of coming to take this high once again. So that is basically my trading plan. That is the scenarios that I see over here. So bringing this back into the bigger picture, if I take the FIB here out the way, if we are building impulses to the downside, which at the moment does have the higher probability. So looking at the structure over here, if we do have a 1, 2, 3, we are now busy with the 4th wave. Okay, and you have another 5 wave here to the downside. To complete your 5th wave, you can now have an ABC back to the upside, and then you continue the momentum back to the downside, where you can have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, which basically gives you your 3 wave structure. That's basically how I tie everything together. Okay, I know a lot still needs to happen, but I've shared with you technically what I'm seeing here on the price of Bitcoin at the moment. Cool. I'm the patient. Sadly, Ghost Levi. Is the breakout play still on? Maxima. Yeah, I mean, fourth waves are very complex. I'm sure you're talking about this breakout over here on the 5-minute time frame. Let me just have a look over here. Okay, you're talking about this breakout. Okay. Yes, I would say that this breakout, okay, we had the trend over there, right? Which for me now signifies, because of this crazy price action above the trend is not finished forming. So keeping the trading simple over here, okay? We've been trading trends inside of the Legends Discord community like crazy, okay? I would say that's the new trend. Okay. So definitely still a possibility. You just need to pay yourself on the way up because you know the rules for the trend line strategy. You take a FIB, normal FIB from the high to the low. Okay, if you have a successful break, you don't care. So basically, you don't care what happens over here. You have your alarm. If your alarm goes off, you need to pay yourself on the way up. But because we are in such an aggressive downtrend yet at the moment, I will really be aggressive with profit-taking areas. Yes, you could get price action that does that. Could. Okay. But you want to pay yourself as a trader. You want to pay yourself here by the 382. You want to pay yourself here by the 50% fib level, because as per the scenarios that I've just explained over here, yes, you can have a breakout, okay? And then it falls back to the downside and you didn't pay yourself and you get stopped out. Okay, you have to pay yourself as a trader. So based on the probabilities from an Elliott wave perspective that we could potentially be building impulses to the downside, I would be more aggressive with profit taking. Okay, so yes, from a trend line perspective, and this is why a lot of people say that the trend lines don't work, okay, is because they don't know the rules that they need to follow. So if you have a trend, okay, you can see that there's aggressive momentum to the downside, you get a successful breakout, pay yourself on the way up. Okay, leave some of the position open, 10 or 20% of the position open to potentially come and claim the high over here. Okay, this was the time, right? Go back here onto the 15-minute time frame. When momentum is up, okay, you have an increased probability of coming to take the highs every single time. But we have now lost trend over here. So you need to be aggressive with profit takings if you're playing momentum to the upside, and you should rather be looking for shorts. Okay, so now you should actually be applying the trend line strategy in reverse. Okay, the trend is your friend until the end. So this is some of the stuff I did not mention or didn't have the time to go through my Back to the Future video, is that simply put, if you invert your scale over here, okay, you can now see you had a trend line breakout over there. You claimed the low. Okay, remember it's now in reverse now. So price going up is actually price falling down, right? So it now works the same way. Now you have to look at the chart and say, okay, momentum is now to the upside, which is down. So you can apply the one-line trend strategy. Okay, I'm showing you guys a lot of tricks here in the book. Okay, you play the breakout to the upside, which is actually down. You're shorting the market. Then you wait for another trend to form. So yeah, on the 5-minute time frame, yeah, it happened again. Okay, you had a trend breakout over here. Come on. You had a trend breakout over there. Just want to take the brushes here out the way. So this could potentially now be the formation of another trend. Okay, if it has not broken out already. Okay. Can you guys see? You're doing exactly the same thing in reverse. A lot of people struggle to short, okay? And that's why I reversed the chart, because then it looks so easy to do it. Because imagine now you playing a breakout over here. Where are you targeting? The low or the high, right? You claim the high, you take profits, because then you could be forming a new trend and you play the breakout. Momentum is to the downside or to the upside in this case. So just showing you guys some tricks of the trade. Cool. Let's see how this plays out. We've been in distribution since March. It's over, unfortunately. These false pumps every couple weeks are to entice traders. There's no retail in this time. Yes, I agree. There's no retail money just as yet. But also, market makers could potentially send price higher to get retail to come in so that they can dump. Remember, at the end of the day, market makers and whales need retail to sell into in order to make profits. So it would make sense, okay, from one scenario perspective, it would make sense to say that if the whales have been accumulating inside of this zone, okay, if whales has been accumulating all the lows over here, they've been buying up the lows. Let's just say all the whales have been buying up the lows over here, and they want to take profits. What do they need to do? They need to send price up to get retail in the market. And once retail starts FOMOing and pushing price up, they will dump on retail and take profits. They need retail to take profits. Dump on retail. Okay, that's what smart money does. So it wouldn't make sense to just dump. It just wouldn't make sense just to go down from here, because they need retail to take profits. Okay, it's just one way to look at it. How is the event legal for? How is it even legal for market makers and institutions to do that? Right, it's all a game of probabilities. It's I don't think it's a matter of legal or illegal, is that you, from a technical perspective, can outsmart the market makers. This is what trading is about, okay? It is it is the ability to outsmart the rest of the market. That's how you make money. So if you now know market makers is going to do that, how do you take that knowledge and benefit from it? So make yourself a market maker. So if you know, okay, market makers have been buying up the lows over here, okay, because now it's about outsmarting the market makers. It's not about being illegal or not legal. So if I know that market makers, there's a higher probability that they're most likely going to send price into the air to get retail to FOMO back into the market so that they can dump their money on them. You listening to this live stream right now, what can you do to benefit from that? That's where technical analysis now comes into play. That is where you now need to learn where to take profits, not let the greed get the better of you. So if you know that there's a high probability for market makers to do this, guess what? I'm also going to be accumulating where the market makers are accumulating. And when retail comes back into the market and the YouTube channel starts blowing up and the Google searches for crypto shoots through the roof, I'm going to start taking profits. So I'm going to play the market makers game with them, not against them. So you can use it to your advantage. Okay. So for me, it's not a question of is it legal or not. For me, it's a question of, can I play the game with the market makers instead of against them? Right. Can I look at CVD? We do have some slight bullish CVD building up here between these two pivots. But we also have bearish CVD against these two pivots, but we have taken the low. So this bearish CVD played out. So yeah, it's just, I've just been seeing a mix between bullish and bearish CVD. You can see between this pivot. Okay, let me draw it out. You can see against this pivot, okay, on Bybit, we've made bearish CVD. Okay, of which the target is the low. We haven't taken that target yet. And then as price retraced here to the downside, we made some, but we took the low. That's the problem. Okay, we made some bearish CVD against those two pivots, but we took the low. Okay, and then price moved up, nothing. Okay, price moved down, nothing. Price moved up, bearish CVD. There's bearish CVD between those two pivots, of which the target is the low, which we took now at the moment. So what you would now like to see is, if price starts moving up, watch this pivot now. Because if you look at white looks like it wants to make bearish CVD. So very confusing here at bearish. It's just countering each other the whole time, the CVD at the moment. Sometimes you just need to focus on price action. Okay, there's many times where I don't even look at CVD. I only trade the price action in front of me. Cool, legends. That is basically all I have time for today. Smash up the like for the education over here. Remember, down in the description, that 10% cashback on Bluffin by simply depositing money. Come trade with me. And that is basically it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the alpha. If you're not subscribed, subscribe for future notifications. Thank you so much. Just for now.